आपने मुझे क्वेश्चंस की लिस्ट भेजी थी. So hello friends, a very warm welcome to Exam Bay. So today we are starting something very special. कुछ special हम start करने जा रहे हैं. We have started the series of the interview जिसमें हम मिलेंगे और जानेंगे उन लोगों के बारे में जो हम सभी के लिए एक इंस्पिरेशन है. So today this is the first video of this series और हमारे साथ हैं Mr. Ravi Kapoor, IRS.
Thank you, Arpit. Thank you for having me and for that general, very nice introduction. I'm very happy to be here. And I've been seeing Exam Bay or बहुत अच्छा content. It's been a very, I think, useful experience for your viewers. I'll be happy to contribute in any way I can.
So sir is a multifaceted personality as आप लोगों को शायद ना पता हो. Sir is a sports person, he's a civil servant, he's a writer and a friend. So sir, I would like to start with your story. आप जो हमारे viewers हैं आप उन्हें बताइए कि आप आपका schooling, college and you were a national level sports person. आप civil services में आपने तैयारी करने की कैसे सोची, कैसे आए? So please let us
Yeah, yeah,
walk through your story, sir.
yeah, definitely. It's not a typical story, to be honest. It was a difficult story to begin with when I was in school. तो मैं academics में interested नहीं था. It was the last thing I wanted to do, and I didn't understand what was going on, and I didn't understand why I was being taught the things that they were talking about, and I just could not relate to it. Maybe I had ADHD, maybe I had dyslexia, I don't know, but I never performed, never. Okay, zero. Much to the
Okay.
irritation of my parents. So, but
Uh-huh.
anyway, so the typical pressure which people have in the middle class, I had also
Mm-hmm.
engineering college and either that or medical or something like that. But I was not interested in any of these things, to be honest. And I made this very clear to my parents. That also is something that they did not enjoy. But I was clear that I wanted to be in athletics. I wanted to be an athlete.
Okay.
And started off with tennis and football. I was good at those. But then I found my true passion in powerlifting and bodybuilding. This happened when I was in college. I mean, I took admission and I did engineering, but मेरा मन नहीं था उसमें, to be honest. I was not enjoying that subject and that environment at all. I wanted to do something else. So I did. And I did professional bodybuilding and powerlifting for many years.
Mm-hmm.
And I represented India also in some championships.
Yeah.
Won a few medals. I won the Asian bronze medal for India in the Asian Powerlifting Championship, and quite a few of these over the years. But जो important चीज बताने वाली है viewers के लिए भी और
Mm-hmm.
younger लोगों के लिए, relatively younger लोगों के लिए, वो ये है कि ये ट्रेजेक्टरी काफी टर्बुलेंट थी, मुश्किल थी, क्योंकि जब मैंने स्पोर्ट्स परस्यू किया तो कुछ सालों के बाद मुझे रियलाइज हुआ कि फ्यूचर इसमें क्रिएट करना आसान नहीं है, बहुत मुश्किल है, फाइनेंशियली भी मुश्किल है,
Right.
और कंपटीशन भी बहुत है, और बहुत सारे ऐसे फैक्टर्स हैं जो आप अकेले हैंडल नहीं कर सकते. तो उस वक्त मुझे रियलाइज हुआ कि फिर ये पढ़ाई के लिए इतना स्ट्रेस क्यों किया जाता है मिडिल
Uh-huh.
क्लास में या कहीं पर भी. वाई?
Mm-hmm.
इट्स बिकॉज बहुत एक सिंपल और सीधा एक तरीका, देयर इज अ वे टू गेट फ्रॉम इन लाइफ फ्रॉम one place to the other and improve your life if you're good at academics. And trust me that it is a lot easier than anything else. Studying is easy as far as other things are concerned. बैठ के सिर्फ
Exactly.
पढ़ना होता है.
Uh,
So this became clear, after a long hard lesson. And then I
but I
started
think
doing
हमारे
this.
schools जो schooling वाला जो phase होता है उसमें
Hmm.
जो teaching methodology है उसको इस तरीके से शायद कराया गया है हमारे टाइम में भी कि लोगों को लगता है स्टडिंग इज डिफिकल्ट
Yeah.
बिकॉज जो बुक्स वगैरह हम पढ़ते हैं हमारे टाइम पर भी ये होता था कि आपको आंसर्स जो लिखने हैं दैट शुड बी डिक्टेटेड बाय योर टीचर. आप
Yes.
अगर
Yes.
एग्जैक्टली वो लिखोगे यू विल गेट फुल मार्क्स या फिर वन
Yeah.
ऑफ द हाईएस्ट मार्क्स, और अगर थोड़ा सा भी आप अलग लिखोगे, इवन इफ इट इज राइट, तो आपका मार्क्स कटेंगे,
Exactly.
विच
Exactly.
कैन बी इट,
Yeah,
ऐसा लगता
it's
है कि शायद ये उतना सही नहीं था.
या डेफिनेटली. और एक एक ऐसा सिस्टम क्रिएट हो गया है, आई थिंक किसी ने डिलिबरेटली नहीं किया है, इट्स जस्ट हैपेंड.
राइट राइट राइट, वो रट्टाफिकेशन वाला सिस्टम.
हाँ, 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 it's a system because you see, in this system you have lakhs and lakhs of people. You have
राइट.
to put them through an education system. You need a standardized syllabus which you have to prescribe कि ये
एग्जैक्टली.
इनको पता होना चाहिए, इस पे इनकी टेस्टिंग होगी. And that mechanical process, I think, is just a byproduct. I had something called math phobia in school. In fact, I still get nightmares. Even
Okay.
today, I get nightmares, and I did not have a good time at it. I hated it, and you won't believe it now. It is math that I'm interested in, mathematics.
Okay.
I want to understand higher mathematics, how it works, and I do readings in mathematics quite generally. And if ever I wish I get the time to, definitely I'd like to pursue a master's in it. I don't know, but that's the change which has happened over years, and that's exactly why, because of the reason that you said, the system was different.
Yes.
The subject remained the same.
क्योंकि जो रट्टाफिकेशन में उतने अच्छे नहीं थे, they were not able to perform very well in exam as far as your marks are concerned.
Yeah,
So that was an issue.
yeah. And
So
definitely, I think
okay.
that turns into an advantage when you go into the civil services. Exactly that factor आपके फेवर में हो जाता है,
Right.
because वो सारा conceptual focus होता है. और if you are somebody who likes to understand things rather than just memorize them, immediately you have an advantage.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is it. So sir, आपको ये कब रियलाइज हुआ, any particular incident जब आपने सोचा हो कि okay, I want to go to civil services or I want to prepare for civil services? Any
Yes.
particular incident or?
Yeah. Something happened actually one of these days. So I was good at bodybuilding, powerlifting. I was invited to play rugby by a local club.
Okay.
Believe it or not, rugby is very much there in India, although it's not popular, but people are doing that seriously. So these clubs, they invited me, and I got interested. So I was selected in to represent India in one of their rugby matches.
Okay.
There was a position available for me. They wanted me to do that, and I was very happy to do that. But what happened was that during one of these practice matches, I got injured very badly.
Okay.
Massive injury on my face. I had my cheekbone completely crushed, and so I had to go to the operation theater. And that incident that day, it made me realize that sports का कोई भरोसा नहीं है. If something breaks, तो body में हो ही सकता है ना. It's just a machine. It can happen anytime.
Right.
Then you are gone, and so is all your hard work. So that made me sit and think, boss, now what is the next move? Because I can't do this all my life.
Okay.
And so that day, in fact, I Googled, I remember, I Googled IES Coaching Institute. That was my search. Yeah. And it all started from there.
Okay. So it was there somewhere in your mind before that also.
Well, yes. And again, honestly, what prompted me towards the civil services instead of anything else was that I was not employable anywhere else. I was a bodybuilder and a powerlifter, so I was employable in a gym, right? Basically, and I wasn't going to get a nice executive job, and nobody was going to give it to me because I was not qualified, out of touch with the field, and also with lack of interest. So मुझे पता था I would not get a job, at least not a good one. The UPSC doesn't discriminate. Anybody can come in. Right. Even people who not. So that I think forced me to consider what can I do. The question was what can I do, not what I want to do. So what can I do? I can do UPSC because I meet the eligibility criteria.
Mhm.
So I thought that this is the best thing. If I can do this, then everything will be erased and forgotten, and
Mhm.
nobody will care how bad I was in academics. And so that's how I got started in it.
So this itself is an inspiration for lakhs of aspirants, क्योंकि
Uh,
बहुत सारे जो एस्पिरेंट्स होते हैं उनको यही लगता है कि लाइक वी आर एवरेज इन स्टडीज, हम एवरेज हैं तो हम कर सकते हैं, नहीं कर सकते हैं। प्लस एक
yeah.
थोड़ी सी एक प्रोबेबिलिटी का भी वो लोगों को लगता है, राइट।
Hmm.
अनसर्टेन होती है, अनसर्टेनिटी इज ऑलवेज दिस फैक्टर। सो ये
Yeah.
चीज कि यू वर वेरी मच देयर इन स्पोर्ट्स, आप स्पोर्ट्स में नेशनल लेवल तक खेले और उसके बाद आपने यू स्टार्टेड प्रिपरेशन।
Hmm.
सो सर व्हेन डिड यू स्टार्ट योर प्रिपरेशन, लाइक एट व्हाट एज, व्हाट वाज द
I
एज?
was I was exactly 21 because at 21 is the age when you shift from junior category to senior category in bodybuilding and powerlifting. So that year I had competed in a championship. It was Mr. Delhi. I won that. And then I was supposed to go in nationals and I decided, and then this incident happened. And so it changed my entire life. I never went to those bodybuilding nationals, although I went to powerlifting championships. So then it happened. I was exactly 21 and I cleared the exam in my second attempt. In the first attempt, I gave the interview. The second one I cleared, and the third one also I cleared. Yeah, cleared it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you cleared civil services 3 times in a row.
Yes, technically, if you consider mains exam, then yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So can an average student or an average aspirant clear this exam?
Yes, absolutely.
Because
Absolutely. I am
this
living proof of
question is
that.
in minds of so many
Yes.
aspirants.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they can. They can. And again, the interesting part is that what makes them average, the label that we give them for average is
Mhm.
exactly the thing which is going to help them here. It's a strategic advantage, I think, to be an average person, is because your mind has not been completely conditioned by that education system.
Mhm.
The fact
Right.
that you were average means there is something you didn't like in it, didn't get.
हम्म, क्योंकि
There.
एवरेज का जो आपने जो लेबल बोला, वो आई थिंक स्कूल से ही लोगों पर, बच्चों पर लगा दिया जाता है। ओके, उसकी परसेंटेज नहीं आ रही, सो ही इज एन एवरेज पर्सन। 70%, 12th में ही स्कोरिंग 70%, ही इज एन एवरेज पर्सन।
Yeah.
इवन सम ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स आर देयर, उनके स्कूलिंग में दे वर
Mhm.
स्कोरिंग 70%, और कुछ लोग थे 60%। दे क्लियर्ड आईआईटी जेई।
Yeah.
सो
Yeah.
किसका कहाँ पर इंटरेस्ट है या किस तरीके से वो आता है,
Exactly.
क्योंकि इवन इन आईआईटी जेई वो रट्टाफिकेशन और ये सब चीजें नहीं चलती है वहां पे। सो दैट इज एग्जैक्टली द केस। सो सर, हमारे जो व्यूअर्स हैं, हमारे जो रीडर्स हैं, काफी सारे क्वेश्चंस उन्होंने पूछे हैं, उन्होंने भेजे हैं। सो मैं आपसे कुछ क्वेश्चंस इस चीज में पूछूंगा।
Sure.
सो शुड एस्पिरेंट्स लिसन टू टॉपर्स? इतने
Mm.
सारे जो टॉपर्स हैं वो यूट्यूब पर हर जगह
Yeah.
आते हैं, अपनी स्ट्रेटजी बताते हैं। सो आपको क्या लगता है कि वो जो स्ट्रेटजी है वो
Mm-hmm.
एक एस्पिरेंट के लिए कितना काम करेगी? बिकॉज एवरी पर्सन इज डिफरेंट, एवरी पर्सनैलिटी इज डिफरेंट।
Yes, exactly. I think you answered the question, half of it. They are different. And so I personally did not benefit from looking at the toppers, except for the fact that जब मैंने उनको देखा, interact करा, so I realized that there is no difference as such. This can be done. They
ओके।
appear to be ordinary to me. And the fact is that after a certain level, जो टॉप के 5-10% कंटेंडर्स होते हैं वो मोरलेस एक लेवल पे ही होते हैं सारे.
ओके। हाँ हाँ।
Somebody ends up topping, the other person doesn't, but they are all good. But that is something I need to emphasize. A topper is not somebody who's an average guy at all. I'm
ओके।
saying that there are other above average people also in that pool. Why one person gets a single digit rank and the other person doesn't get a name in the list, has got nothing to do with capability as long as they're in the top 3,000 people, I think.
Okay. Uh-huh.
The results, then if that was not the case, then why would the results vary instantly over the year? One day you do, 1 year you don't clear the prelims, the next year you're at rank 5. That
Right.
should not be happening if it was a logical progression.
Exactly.
So your job, I think, as an aspirant, you should get to that top 3,000 category and not worry about the rest at all. रास्ते निकल जाएंगे, हो जाएंगी चीजें, मोस्ट लाइकली कुछ ना कुछ आपके लिए अच्छा ही होगा अगर आप उस लेवल तक अपने आप को ले गए हो तो.
So does luck has a role to play in the process?
I think that that luck has a role to play on those few examination hours. Something does happen there, I think. I don't think luck plays a role in the process as much as people believe, because the process is within your control for the most part. उसमें लक की गुंजाइश कम करी जा सकती है, अच्छे से स्ट्रेटेजाइज करा जा सकता है, और बहुत सारे वीक पॉइंट्स कवर करे जा सकते हैं. अपने आप को बहुत सॉलिड कंटेंडर बनाया जा सकता है, टॉप 2-3,000 में आया जा सकता है रिलायबली. लक कभी कभी काम, हाँ, उन एग्जाम्स में, एग्जाम के अंदर कभी कभी हो जाती हैं कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स. जैसे एक बारी ऑन द सेकंड अटेम्प्ट आई वाज क्वाइट कॉन्फिडेंट because mains I had a good handle on my optional and GS and everything, so I knew that it should not be a problem. But in public administration I scored about around 60% that year, the year previous to that. And in the next year, there are two papers at that time, paper 1, paper 2. Paper 1 I scored more than 60%, and in paper 2 I got like 30 or 40 marks out of 300. That made absolutely no sense. I had 200 marks in that same paper in the previous year. Unexplainable. I can't explain it. I didn't make that mistake.
Drastic.
Something must have happened. I don't know what. तो एक तो ये लक थोड़ा सा है जो आपके कंट्रोल में नहीं है, बट इसके बारे में सोचना भी नहीं है, क्योंकि even despite that I got a rank.
Right.
तो आपको ये देखना है कि आपसे गलती ना हो. लक उसमें भी कभी कभी खराब हो जाता है. In one of the attempts I wrote an essay on the completely wrong topic. At least 100 marks I lost because of that mistake. I don't know if it was luck or mistake, but हाँ, उन important moments में, उन जो कुछ moments होते हैं ना एग्जाम में, कभी कभी they make the difference. आगे पीछे. तो उनसे बचना होता है.
So what were your optionals, sir? One is public.
Yes. Public administration, then psychology. I had psychology. Then I studied a lot of psychology. I cleared the exam also with psychology, but then I got very bored with it because it had already been done. So I switched to philosophy. And only because I was bored with it, honestly, with psychology. I wanted to learn something new, something of my interest. Then I learned that I did philosophy, and I cleared the exam with philosophy. And so that was actually the reason I always kept clearing this exam. I was loving it, the process. The study part of it, the academic part of it, I was loving it. I enjoyed it. इसलिए हो जाता था हर बारी.
Curiosity जो एक चीज होती है, and it is always underrated. लोग उसे underrate करते हैं हमेशा curiosity को, but it is a very big factor.
Very, very certainly.
So how did sports play a role in your preparation, with your mindset?
Yeah.
Because you were a sports person.
I think that's a very good question. Very good question. And it is part of the story which remains untold usually.
Yeah.
People usually see a very nice progression. This guy was in sports, then he went into this. No, it was not like that. This experience of sports had given me certain advantages which other people don't have. That helped me. I am not brilliant in any way. It was just that I used what I had. टू माई एडवांटेज. तो अगर आप एक कंपेरेटिव स्पोर्ट करते हो, compete कर रहे हो, तो उसमें you have to push yourself. You have no choice.
Exactly.
और डिसिप्लिन में भी रहना पड़ता है. तो आपको हार्डवर्क की आदत हो जाती है स्पोर्ट्स में, एक तो डिसिप्लिन की हो जाती है, और स्पोर्ट्स काफी हद तक ट्रांसपेरेंट होते हैं. The feedback mechanism is very clear, especially in a sport like powerlifting. If it's 200 kilos, you will either lift it or you will not lift it.
Okay.
You know, so this becomes very clear. The moment of truth is the fact: did you perform or not? That became very clear. I internalized that. आप अपने आप को बेवकूफ नहीं बनाते.
बिल्कुल.
तो वो ऑनेस्टी मेरे को स्पोर्ट्स ने दी, वो मेरे को बहुत काम आई.
और एक कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस तो होती है, एंड डिसिप्लिन आपने जो बोला, डिसिप्लिन आई थिंक is what most of the aspirants lack.
Yes,
Discipline
I
is
don't
one.
blame them for it. I don't blame them because ये एग्जाम डिफिकल्ट है अपने आप को डिसिप्लिन में रखना, क्योंकि हमारे स्टेक्स नहीं इन्वॉल्व होते. अगर कॉलेज में हम एक लेवल की डिसिप्लिन नहीं रखते तो यू कैन ईदर गेट सस्पेंडेड और बैड कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस हैपन. इसमें अनलेस यू आर वेरी डेस्परेट, आपके स्टेक्स जुड़े हुए हैं, you have no reason to be disciplined for a year or so.
Right.
कोई मैकेनिज्म नहीं है आपको एक डायरेक्शन में लगाए रखने का. If you are in a job, like, you understand that your agenda is set by other people. You have no choice there. You have to do what you have to do. Get up, get there in time, do what you need to do, and only then can you get out. UPSC exam is not like that. You are on your own. You can come in, get out at any time. The only thing which matters is one result on one fine day which will come out. If you are there, good. If you are not there, either try again or then it's not for you. This is the issue.
Right. So is your this long hard journey of the going through the process, and you went for civil services thrice, is it worth in the end?
Yeah, definitely. Even without getting the job, it is worth it, I would say. अगर जॉब नहीं भी मिली होती और नहीं भी हुआ होता क्लियर, कुछ ना कुछ अच्छा इससे निकल के आता, मुझे ये पता है, बिकॉज इट ओपन माई माइंड.
ओके.
जो कि बिल्कुल क्लोज था एडमिटेडली. एंड मुझे पता भी नहीं था कि लाइफ में इतना मजा आ सकता है किसी इतनी सिंपल सी चीज से, पढ़ाई से किताबें पढ़ के. आई हैड नो इंटरेस्ट. भागते रहते हैं उससे, क्योंकि वो बहुत डिस्टेस्ट क्रिएट कर देते हैं उससे. वो बहुत मजेदार चीज है एक्चुअली में. उससे it is like watching documentaries, honestly speaking. Only the fact is that documentaries are going on in your head while you're reading. And it happens after a while. Immediately, I think it happens automatically. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to be very, very intelligent. Your brain does this. It gets used to reading. You will look at the black and white text on a page. It will convert it into images. Automatic. So this then becomes something you look forward to.
Right.
You build stories and narratives. I did that for history, and I did that for polity, whatever I could do it for. And that I think made the difference every year when I gave the exam. It was clearly reflected in the answers, because even in coaching classes, the teachers were remarking, and constantly they were pointing this out to me, that these answers are different. And you're writing at a better level because you seem to have some better understanding, conceptual understanding.
Okay.
तो ये वो बोलते थे उस वक्त, और वो I didn't know what that means, but वो रिजल्ट में आया, वो it reflected that.
Yes. ये जो सब्जेक्ट्स हैं, लाइक जो भी जनरल स्टडीज के सब्जेक्ट्स हैं या ऑप्शनल्स हैं, there's some logical process which follows, but एक जो पेपर होता है ऐसे का पेपर, उसमें लाइक जो एक जनरल परसेप्शन है कि चीजें बहुत ही ज्यादा सब्जेक्टिव हैं, तो क्या ऐसे भी लॉजिकली किया जा सकता है उस प्रोसेस को फॉलो करके, या
Hmm.
कोई दूसरा अप्रोच जो
Right.
एस्पिरेंट्स फॉलो कर सके?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I think, again, you answered half of it yourself. There is a way. Essay is not random, nor is it objective, nor is
Hmm.
it subjective. The essay can be tackled like any other paper. There is a system to it, there is a way to do it. And I mean, I tried to do that. I put it in my book on essay and answer writing, the ultimate cheat book. And basically, that system is called SLGO, and that is the essay generation algorithm.
Hmm.
You see, the fact is that the UPSC asks essays of a particular kind.
Okay.
The topics are different. The
Hmm.
topics can be either philosophical or economic, but the essays are of the same type, fundamentally speaking.
Okay.
There are two types of essays, broadly speaking. There's a personal essay.
Hmm.
Let's say you ask me about myself,
Hmm.
or you ask me to mention a few incidents in my life which shaped my life. So I have to write an essay on that. That's a personal essay. कॉलेज एप्लीकेशन में ये रिक्वायरमेंट होती है टिपिकली
Hmm.
when you plan on applying to
Yeah, for
these
MBA
foreign universities.
abroad. Hmm.
The UPSC is asking only analytical types. They're not asking the other types. They never will
Okay.
because they are interested in gauging something else. और वो सिलेबस में वो बहुत ही क्लियरली बता चुके हैं कि उनको क्या चाहिए. Very clear. They are very very clear. It's a legal document. ये जो सिलेबस है, it's a legal document. उस आई थिंक वो अंडर एस्टिमेट किया जाता है. वो उसमें बहुत क्लूज हैं इस एग्जामिनेशन के लिए, और एसए में वो क्लियरली बता देते हैं 4-5 चीजें हैं जो आपको करनी है. राइट कंसाइजली, यूज इफेक्टिव एंड एग्जैक्ट एक्सप्रेशन.
Yes.
वो ये भी बताते हैं कि मल्टीपल चॉइस, मल्टीपल टॉपिक्स आएंगे. ये भी बताते हैं वो कि एक नहीं होगा, एक से ज्यादा हो सकता है. क्लियरली बताते हैं. वो बताते हैं कि आपकी राइटिंग एग्जैक्ट होनी चाहिए, आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ आइडियाज अच्छा होना चाहिए. ये भी लिखा है उसमें. आपको एक ही टाइप का एक्से दिया जा रहा है और आपकी ये रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं. सो इज देयर अ वे टू डू all of these, a template of some kind? The answer is yes, there is. You, I think, automatically do it when you write essays. हम सब करते हैं उसको. किसी ने शायद ऐसे फॉर्मलाइज नहीं किया है, एक जगह पे लिखा नहीं है, अच्छे से ऑर्गेनाइज नहीं किया है, तो वो मैंने करने की कोशिश करी है. हम ऐसे टॉपिक को देखते हैं और हम ये ढूंढने की कोशिश करते हैं कि व्हाट आर द टू थिंग्स दैट इट इज अबाउट फंडामेंटली. या दो चीजों के बारे में होगा हमेशा. आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं कि वो क्या है.
Okay.
उनके बारे में सोचते हैं और ये बोलते हैं कि अब इन दोनों के बारे में ये टॉपिक क्या कह रहा है.
Okay.
इस रिलेशनशिप में से इश्यूज क्या पैदा होते हैं. बस वो इश्यूज आपके आने चाहिए ऐसे में.
Okay. Okay.
जो उन दोनों के बीच में रिलेशनशिप है, उसके इश्यूज अगर आ गए हैं उसमें अच्छे से, ऑर्गेनाइज अच्छे से है, लैंग्वेज ठीक है, तो एक डिसेंट ऐसे क्रिएट हो गया है. और ये क्यों नहीं हो सकता सब में. अभी 2020 means the one that was conducted just recently, I took the entire paper. 8 options were there, and each and every one of them was amenable to this kind of deconstruction.
Okay.
In fact, the last 10-year paper I analyzed, I have put that in my book, and each one of them can be deconstructed like that. और ये छोटी सी मेंटल ट्रिक करते ही एकदम से आपके पास एक एडवांटेज आ जाती है. अब आपको उसकी प्रायर नॉलेज की जरूरत नहीं है. यू डोंट हैव टू हैव I have to be an expert on that topic. You need to talk about the issues which that topic implies, things which are there. But this is again a very long discussion, and I've tried to put all of that in my book. But the short answer to your question is yes, it can be done, and I believe that it should be done.
Okay. So this is a discussion which we can cover in a different video, in a separate video.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So एक थोड़ा different question है अब कि ऐसी भी कुछ चीजें हैं क्या जो selected candidates they don't want to share? Are there any secrets, anything? Because normally जो भी select होने के बाद interviews देते हैं candidates, वो like they talk on similar lines, but are there any secrets or anything? which they don't want to share?
I think everybody has some. I think invariably you will find that everybody has a few. But do they have some of these in common? I think one thing that they all have in common that they will share is that they do not expect the result that they got. I think that's one.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Everybody tries to do their best. किसी का भी एग्जाम बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा नहीं होता है. That's another.
Uh-huh.
Whether or not they admit it, एग्जाम हॉल से बाहर निकल के यू फील लाइक ये तो नहीं हुआ ठीक.
Right.
तो और उसके बाद एक रिजल्ट आता है और आई थिंक वो रिजल्ट हमको इसलिए सरप्राइज करता है क्योंकि रिलेटिवली स्पीकिंग हमने बाकियों से बेटर किया होता है. किसी का भी अच्छा नहीं हुआ होता. आपका
Mm.
बुरा हुआ है, उनका थोड़ा सा ज्यादा बुरा हुआ है.
Right, right, right.
That nobody wants to admit it that
Mm.
I was just better than the other guy. I was
Mm.
not good as
Yes.
far as objective standards are concerned.
Mm.
I think that is something that is not admitted.
Mm. And it's a game of relativity, obviously.
Yes, certainly. It's a competitive exam. The entire marking is all relative.
Uh-huh.
There's a ranking system here, and these questions are not to be answered by a domain expert. तो by definition जो syllabus है उन्होंने ऐसा बनाया है कि किसी के पास expertise हो ही ना. It has been designed that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everybody is more or less at the same level. Then
Mm.
there are no experts of GS. There is
Mm.
only GS.
Mm.
You know, so everybody will have to fight for the same kind of content, but you need to make sure that you're doing relatively better than the rest. That's what ultimately the result I think represents. Who did the least worst gets to be on the top.
Right. So moving on from your preparation phase, you got selected and you went to LBS and AA in Missouri. How was the life? Like, what was the feeling? जब आपका सिलेक्शन हो गया उसके बाद आप वहां पहुंचे, how was the feeling?
I did not go to Labasna because at that year, on that year, there were mega batches. So what they had decided was that part of the batch will be divided, and they will go to the police academy in Hyderabad. Some will go
Okay.
to the Foreign Institute Academy. Some will go to Labasna. They had divided it like this. But I didn't go to any
Okay.
of them because
Uh-huh.
I took a leave and I wanted to appear in the exam again. And
Oh.
so I didn't attend that foundation course. But जो मुझे बैचमेट से सुनने को मिला है और जो लोग बोलते हैं वो बताते हैं कि बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस होता है.
Mm-hmm.
You learn a lot, you interact with your colleagues and peers, and you build a very good network which remains with you forever.
Right, right.
And as far as the
I think
feeling
one
is
of the
concerned,
primary purpose
yeah,
is networking.
definitely. The feeling is of absolute, you have no idea what you're getting into at that time. No idea, unless you have parents in the services or whatever. You feel congratulated because everybody is asking you and they're all very happy that you've done something.
Mm-hmm.
And you're very confused at the whole thing. And
Mm-hmm.
you have to assume that कुछ अच्छा ही किया होगा, you
Yeah.
know, जो इतना इतना बोला जा रहा है. तो
Mm-hmm.
अल्टीमेटली वहां जाके पता चलता है कि इट्स द बिगिनिंग, इट्स जस्ट द बिगिनिंग.
Just the beginning.
कुछ हुआ ही नहीं है. हाँ.
Right. So, how is your life as an IRS officer? आप दिल्ली में posted हैं and your postings till now.
It's been very interesting, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very unique job, very challenging also at times, but very interesting. It is, like you were asking कि मतलब is it worth it? So it is worth it. It is worth it.
Okay.
One of the biggest reasons is worth it because it is like a membership in an exclusive club.
Mm-hmm.
आपको एक ऐसी जॉब दी जाती है जिसमें आप गवर्नमेंट के अंदर काम करते हो in various departments. You get to see a completely different side of the world. You get to see the government's side of the world. And
Mm-hmm.
as a result,
Mm-hmm.
you get to have all these other experiences which nobody else can have.
Okay.
For example, I was posted at the airport initially. And
Delhi airport.
my job, no, at Chennai Airport,
Okay, okay.
at Chennai International Airport. And my job, although it was a long job description,
Uh-huh.
one of the main things was to curb smuggling, gold smuggling.
Okay, okay.
So I had no idea how to do this. Even
Mm-hmm.
the training does not prepare you for real life situations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You learn on the job.
And
And I
it's not.
had to learn. I was forced to learn.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting and very challenging also. It's frustrating because you have to catch up very, very quickly. बहुत टाइम नहीं है आपके पास, आपको फटाफट करना है जो करना है. And that is, I think that is what really keeps you mentally agile, challenged and very stimulated. और बहुत अगर आपको, if you are the kind of person who is curious, exploratory,
Mm-hmm.
then I think you will enjoy it. You will
Okay.
enjoy it.
So what was where was your first posting?
It was in 2014, 13, 14. That was
2000.
my first posting. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Chennai.
Chennai. And
Okay.
that was one of the best and most interesting assignments I've had because uh, gold smuggling was at its peak at that time. There was some tariff issue.
Mm-hmm.
Gold out in foreign countries was cheaper than it was in India, so it was being smuggled. Uh, it's always happening. It's a fact of life. But during those periods, I believe those 2 3 years, I think there was a surge, and then later the government equalized the rates, so it reduced. But
Okay.
people always try to take advantages of
Mm-hmm.
any
Mm-hmm.
loophole that they can get, and
They're
so
very.
I was, yeah, yeah, and it's, I think, just part of human drive. They're very creative people. Humans are very creative and very driven also. So in that drive, they do good things, bad things both.
Right, right, right.
So it's interesting to see when they do the bad things, how they do it. And so, and I mean, your challenge is to stay one step ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But it also taught me that it had to do with poverty also. The people who used to actually smuggle the gold
Mm-hmm.
were not the people who were controlling everything. They were just poor people who were
Yeah, yeah.
given
Exchange
money
money
to,
to do
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, just to do this. And the real masterminds are completely different people. They don't even come into the picture. And so that is
They have
something.
a
Yes,
set.
yes, yes, yes. You learn that very quickly, and
Mm,
then you realize that acha, the reality is a lot more complicated than you thought, and it
mm,
is not like you will be able to change the whole world just
right.
because you want to.
Mm,
So then, as a result, maturity also happens. It comes.
mm, right. So, coming back to your preparation, did you enroll yourself into any coaching?
Yes, I enrolled myself in all of them because I did know what I was doing. I enrolled
Uh,
myself in as many as I could.
mm,
Uh, did they help? Yes, to some extent. Were
mm,
they enough? No, they were not enough.
mm.
And I came to the conclusion that it was worthwhile to go and explore.
Okay.
Compulsory नहीं है. बहुत,
Mm-hmm.
it did not make the deciding change. It gave me a boost. It showed me my competition. It showed me what I'm up against.
Mm-hmm.
It also keeps you very, very much in discipline, and I would say very much under discipline and motivation as well, because you're in a competitive environment. And the same thing that we just spoke about, कि कोई structure नहीं है इस exam में,
Mm-hmm.
that coaching gives you that structure.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
there,
Okay.
there are tests, classes, so that was the advantage. The content, no, it did not really help me because मुझे खुद ही समझना पड़ा
Mm-hmm.
फंडामेंटल्स क्या है,
Right.
क्या हो रहा है, खुद ही बैठ के समझना पड़ा, सोचना पड़ा. तो मुझे इतने इस लेवल तक समझ में आया कि मैं एग्जाम में उसके बारे में कुछ कर सका. कंटेंट नहीं, मुझे लगा कि आई डोंट थिंक दैट दैट्स व्हाट यू शुड गो टू कोचिंग फॉर. आई थिंक यू
Mm-hmm.
शुड गो टू कोचिंग टू फिक्स द chinks in your armor.
Okay.
You you first identify ये कुछ ऐसे काम है जो मैं आउटसोर्स कर सकता हूँ, मुझे आउटसोर्स कर देने चाहिए, मेरे बस के बाहर हैं, इनको सीखना बहुत टाइम कंज्यूमिंग होगा, फायदा नहीं है। कोचिंग से मेरा टाइम 30-40% खत्म हो जाएगा, ये इन्वेस्टमेंट, इसीलिए कर लेता हूँ। बट पूरी तैयारी उन पे डिपेंड करके आई डोंट थिंक दैट्स अ रियली गुड वे टू गो अबाउट।
नहीं, but one plus point is that they give structure to your preparation. और जो competition है, what you are up against, वो वाली चीज I think coaching में better placed.
Definitely. और अगर आपको कंटेंट चाहिए तो दे गिव यू अ लॉट ऑफ कंटेंट, इनफैक्ट प्रोबेबली टू मच कंटेंट, too much content. Again, it's a agar if you are shelling out the money to do it and you are investing, so then you should make the most of it.
Right.
And the way to make the most of it is try not to follow the system that they are putting you through. You know, figure out what you need for them to fix. Figure out what you need which needs fixing, which you don't want to do on your own, but which you need a professional coach to help you with. Right. And then get that from these guys. I think that's the way to really approach it. But I think that in this exam, there's such a lot of confusion. It's not at all clear what to do, how to begin, that people, I think, don't go to coaching institutes in order for preparation. They go for either encouragement, yes, or they go for counseling, I think. You know? They go with a general question without an agenda of their own. Their basic question is, what do I need to do to clear this exam? क्या करना है? Of course, the coaching institute has an answer to that. But right, is that answer the right one for you? That is not guaranteed.
Exactly. और एक थोड़ा satisfaction level भी होता है कि okay, I have enrolled myself in a coaching institute.
Yeah.
That means अब seriously preparation start हो गई है officially.
Yes. Definitely, that's a psychological effect, which I mean, it doesn't translate into results, but you're right. FOMO. I think it's FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yes. So, content का आपने बोला कि content अपने आप करना पड़ता है, content का तो role काफी major role है. अभी social media पे we see a lot of content, online content, there are lot of PDFs, a lot of modules, study modules, and so how should aspirants filter it out?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because things have really changed in UPSC preparation. It's not an exam which is going to define books for you. That's a critical difference between college, school, and this particular exam. Anything is included, and ultimately you end up going to the internet to find answers. Right. And in the internet, there is no end to the amount of information and data you can get, including the content which these coaching institutes will put out. So how do you filter this? That's a brilliant question. I think it has to be done in a very logical, practical way. I recently wrote an article about this. So I would say divide the type of content that you are consuming. Don't worry about the sources, right? Don't worry about this channel or that channel. या तो आप टेक्स्ट कंज्यूम कर रहे हो, आप पढ़ रहे हो, या बुक से या नोट से, डजंट मैटर, either it's text or it's video. There are only two types of content which you will be consuming, largely speaking. तो टेक्स्ट के 2 या 3 सोर्सेस आपको डिफाइन करने हैं. राइट. सेम विद वीडियो. हम अगर ये टाइप्स ऑफ सोर्सेस डिफाइन कर देते हैं अपने लिए, हमारी आधी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाती है. Instead of going to channels, because you will find one thing in one place, but you'll have to go to another place for the other thing. It's better to define sources. And you have to stick to them. Once you decided that text sources मेरे NCERTs हैं, ये कुछ standard books हैं, इस XYZ coaching के notes हैं, और ये है. That's it. I mean, you put a stop to it over there. And as far as the video is concerned, you realize, okay, this is the portion I'm going to do from videos. And on YouTube, you'll find like endless content. Endless. Seriously. But it's not useless content. It might be useful, The issue is the filtering, like you rightly said.
Mhm.
So you get a hang of it as soon as you watch a video, 5 to 10 minutes. If
Mhm.
it's worth it, I think you should not watch it in the first go. Don't watch it, because just judge it for 5 minutes. If it's worth watching, then you save it in a separate playlist. Make a
Mhm.
playlist on YouTube
Mhm.
and you call it what you want. Current affairs की अलग, पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की अलग, एथिक्स की अलग, बहुत अच्छा अच्छा आपको कंटेंट मिलेगा. वीडियोस पूरे देखने नहीं है 1 1 घंटे के इनिशियली.
Mhm.
प्री जज करके सेव कर दो उसको. लेट द कंपाइलेशन ग्रो.
Mhm.
फिर हफ्ते में एक बार या महीने में एक बार ही जस्ट हार्वेस्ट इट. फाइंड द वंस व्हिच आर वर्थ, डिलीट द रेस्ट, वॉच देम.
Mhm. Okay.
करना ही है तो मेक नोट्स. और इवन एज फार मेकिंग नोट्स इज कंसर्न, if you get subtitles or a transcriber, I mean, you can get the entire text of the video with you. I think that's another useful thing to do. And the same with textual sources. You have to limit the kind of content you consume.
Okay. Okay. So, how should one begin his preparation after college, just after college, or while he or she is in final year of college?
Yeah.
Because most of the aspirants, they wish to start their preparation in the final year itself. So, what are your suggestions?
Yeah, that's another good question, because most people do that and it's not clear how to begin. I think you should divide the preparation into two types of categories.
Mm-hmm.
One, when you're acquiring knowledge, right? Knowledge acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
This has got nothing to do with the exam. This is just plain knowledge acquisition,
Right.
जिसमें हम अपना नॉलेज नेटवर्क बढ़ा रहे हैं, फैला रहे हैं. हमको ये नहीं पता है कि हमारे को कहाँ जाना है. ब्रॉडली
Exactly.
स्पीकिंग, हम वी आर नॉट ऑब्सेसिंग ओवर द सिलेबस.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing a broad sweep of it. The other is exam orientation, I think, in which you focus on the exam itself and forget about the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Reverse engineer the process, reverse engineer these previous year questions, see what they asked, where they asked from, why they asked it, what do you need to know in order for you to have answered that correctly
Mm-hmm.
when you look at previous year questions.
Okay.
जैसे जैसे आपका एग्जाम पास आता रहता है, आई थिंक आप नॉलेज एक्विजिशन कम करके एग्जाम ओरिएंटेशन बढ़ा दो. आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाट यू
Right.
शुड डू and become obsessed with the exam. I think about 6 months before the exam, you should become absolutely exam oriented. Before that, acquire that knowledge, because उसके बाद आपको time नहीं मिलेगा.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do a
So,
broad sweep, get those concepts, understand the basics. They are going to help you, because once you start preparing and you go topic to topic, I mean, if you don't go according to strategy, you go topic to topic. A topic is not just a topic, you know that. You will have to memorize the details of it, but you'll also have to understand the narrative of it and the concept of it. There are
okay.
2 3 other things that you'll have to do to a topic in order
Mm-hmm.
for you to say, okay, now it is done, I am done with this.
Mm-hmm.
The question that people don't ask is, what exactly have you done in it? You have understood the concept, or have you understood the facts of it? Have
Mm-hmm.
you done both?
Mm-hmm.
If you've done both, okay, then maybe you're done.
Right.
And
Right.
if after doing those you are able to solve many
Mm.
other questions, okay, then you're really done.
Mm. Because what most people do is, जितना मैंने इस चीज का देखा कि they answer their
Yeah.
what this particular thing is all about, but they don't try to research for the why.
Yes.
So this is one more important element. Ki why
Definitely.
is also important and how is also important
Very,
afterward.
very interesting that you mentioned that. There's a very nice way to think about it. And you're talking about the why. I try to formalize this formula. I call it the 4 why formula. 4 why. You ask 4 questions if you're dealing with a topic. Why is it important enough to be in the syllabus?
Right.
If it is in the syllabus, it
Mhm.
means that it has something to do with the larger scheme of things, which are
Mhm.
important for India. That's the only reason it will be in the syllabus of the Indian civil services,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Right.
There's no other reason for it.
Mhm.
Even if that relationship is not direct and obvious, there is something to it. So you can look at it from that angle. The first is, so why is it important enough to be in the syllabus? The second is, why is it important for India specifically? So let's say, in the syllabus, there is a portion in the syllabus which is world history. They talk about the American Revolution, French Revolution, World War One, two important events, all those things. On the first sight, it doesn't appear to be relevant to India. ऐसा तो
Right.
नहीं है कि उसमें कुछ लिखा हुआ है कि इसमें इंडिया के साथ कोई कनेक्शन नहीं है सीमिंगली.
Mm.
बट ये एग्जाम इंडिया के बारे में है, पूरा एग्जाम इंडियन
Exactly.
सिविल सर्विसेज का एग्जाम है. फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन, अमेरिकन रेवोल्यूशन इसलिए है सिलेबस में क्योंकि ये वो इम्पोर्टेंट इवेंट्स हैं जिन्होंने वैल्यूज डिटरमिन करी थी इंडिया की फाउंडेशन की. लिबर्टी होनी चाहिए, ह्यूमन राइट्स होने चाहिए, वो फंडामेंटल होने चाहिए. ये
जो
एक
हमारे
इवेंट से,
preamble में.
हाँ, जो हमारे प्रियम्बल में, ये हमारे ये इन इवेंट से निकले डायरेक्टली, इसलिए ये सिलेबस में है.
Mhm.
और
Right.
फिर एक क्वेश्चन जो हमको पूछना चाहिए कि व्हाई इज इट इम्पोर्टेंट टू माई लाइफ. मेरे लिए क्यों इम्पोर्टेंट है ये पर्सनली. अब टेक फॉर एग्जाम्पल, say in geography, you're doing geography, you're reading about earthquakes, right?
Hmm.
Earthquakes or something like that, I don't know, tectonic shift or plate tectonics or something, continental drift, anything. आपके लिए important क्यों है? आपको try to stretch your imagination a little bit. An earthquake is not something which is directly impacting you now, but it can.
Mhm.
It will impact you in very real ways if it happens. And the same goes for an El Nino. Say you are in a position, you get selected in the job, you're in a place where it's heavily agriculture dependent. El Nino event happens and it destroys a large portion of the produce or the harvest. What are you going to do? So everything has an impact, and once you start thinking about how it will impact me, how it can impact me, then you approach it from a very different practical standpoint. And the UPSC is testing for this. You'll notice that in the question. They're constantly testing for this. That what does this person, this candidate, think about this topic, and what inputs can they get for solving this issue? They're constantly asking this theme you'll find in mains exam. All throughout.
So, what's your advice for young aspirants? जो लोग अभी प्रिपेयर करना चाह रहे हैं, स्टार्ट जस्ट करा है या कुछ ही टाइम हुए, आपका एक एक्सपर्ट एडवाइस.
That's difficult to say because there are so many things to say. मेरी advice ये होगी, अगर if there was one advice that I was going to give them, मेरे पास और कुछ बोलने के लिए नहीं, अगर है एक चीज मैं बोल सकता हूँ तो वो ये चीज होगी कि यूपीएससी का जो सिलेबस है वो एक लीगल डॉक्यूमेंट है. उसको बहुत ही ध्यान से पढ़ो. आप ये समझो कि जब यूपीएससी वो सिलेबस या नोटिफिकेशन निकालते हैं तो वो खुद को रिस्ट्रिक्ट कर देते हैं काफी हद तक, वो उससे बाहर नहीं जा सकते हैं. और again, like I said, it's a legal document, so they stick to it very religiously, and they do that on all stages. They do that for prelims and they do that for interview as well, and people have that misconception that the interview is like an interrogation. जबकि उसमें बहुत क्लियरली लिखा है कि ये ऐसा नहीं होगा, और उसमें क्या देखा जा रहा है, क्या टेस्ट किया जा रहा है, वो बहुत क्लियरली मेंशन्ड है.
Right.
Do what the syllabus is asking you to do. And figure it out from there. If there was one thing that I would have to say to them, I would say this.
First step is to analyze syllabus. Syllabus को ही सही से पूरा स्टडी और एनालाइज करके, क्योंकि आई थिंक उसमें भी बहुत सारे कीवर्ड्स हैं which can help aspirants going forward.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So yeah. So मैं सभी जो व्यूअर्स उन्हें बता देना चाहता हूँ, सर की एक वेबसाइट है becomingias.com. आप वहां पे जाके, सर ने काफी सारे आर्टिकल्स, अच्छे आर्टिकल्स लिखे हुए हैं, स्ट्रेटेजी से रिलेटेड, राइटिंग स्किल्स, ऐसे से रिलेटेड, जीएस से रिलेटेड, जो कि काफी वैलिड हैं आप जब प्रिपेयर करते हो, और आपको काफी पर्सपेक्टिव देंगे काफी तरीके से. आई थिंक आपके बहुत सारे ऐसे डाउट्स होंगे जो जनरल डाउट्स होंगे which will be solved, right? So with this, sir, I would like to thank you for
I'd
giving
like
your
to thank you actually.
sharing your
No, for having
time
me.
with us.
It, thank you so much for having me on it and allowing me to talk about this stuff because I really enjoy this entire process. Honestly speaking, I never grew out of it. The civil services, it was one of the best things to ever happen to me. और मैंने बहुत शौक से किया इसको.
Right.
मैंने इसकी तैयारी बहुत शौक से करी, मुझे बहुत मजा आया.
Mhm.
और अब मैं इसमें वापस आई एम इन्वॉल्व इन इट टू सम एक्सटेंट and I mean very thankful that I'm able to reach all these aspirants through your channel, which is fantastic by the way. So no, thank you for having me actually.
Yeah. So आप सभी लोग सर से कांटेक्ट भी कर सकते हैं. आई थिंक आप इधर कमेंट्स डालेंगे तो मैं सर का ईमेल आईडी वहाँ पे I'll put it in the description or other contact modes so you can contact directly with sir. सर ने जो पूरा मतलब इतना डिस्कशन हुआ उसमें एक चीज जो मुझे लगी क्यूरियोसिटी जो वर्ड था क्यूरियोसिटी which is underrated or which is missed by most of the aspirants. So you have to be curious. आपकी काफी सारी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएंगी, right? So sir, with this we are ending this session and I'm sure this is just the beginning और हम ऐसे future sessions करेंगे and I think very soon अगर हम ऐसे पे ऐसा एक सेशन करें जिससे कि काफी सारे एस्पिरेंट्स को ऐसे के पेपर में हेल्प मिलेगी. ओके,
Sure.
तो थैंक यू सर.
Thank you.
थैंक यू सो
Thank
मच.
you, Arpit. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
प्लेजर इज ऑल माइन.
Thank you. Bye.
बाय सर.